very the working groups. Any questions of fact or clarification at this stage? Yes, over the corner.
You were doing a quick summary of the state of fibre to the X. You didn't mention the French model at all.
What about the French model?
Well, the fact that the metropolitan areas are building their own open access fibre networks and then having service providers come and use those.
Sure. I mean,
State funded.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to generalise on that, it is a widely accepted view that nobody's going to build two fibres to any premise, or more than one person isn't going to build fibres to the premise. This may not entirely be true, but it's a widely accepted view, and I think it's a reasonable position for now anyway. So it follows that it's an actual monopoly from an economist's point of view. And that means that it's going to be regulated, apart from anything else, whatever you do with it. So it's not an unreasonable model, given that it's going to be an actual monopoly anyway, for a state body or some devolved administration or whoever to actually decide to spend the money to build it, provided they've got a business model to back that up, if they want to. This has been very widely discussed. And so, again, it's not untypical of France that the French would choose to do it that way, because that's how they've done most things, in the past. And you have to say they've been quite successful at that. So look at the TGV, or the high-speed trains and network and so on, which we could only wish for here. So I think it's just typical of the fact that we have a difficult problem to solve. One way of solving it is to say, okay, I can't necessarily make the business case work, but I believe in it for the future. I believe that getting over the chicken and egg, my slide about the 10 to 15 years time view of what networks will be like, if you really believe that's true, and you're in the position of some local government or regional authority to actually do something about it, and you've got the money, or you can find the money, or you can do a partnership with somebody to find the money, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's going to be open access anyway. It's going to be regulated to be open access anyway. So whether it's built publicly or privately doesn't really matter from that point of view, from the people wanting to deliver services.
Yeah. Ian, sorry, just wanted to refute a couple of comments. Tim James, H2O Networks, sister of Fibre City organisation within the I3 group. First of all, we're putting two fibres to the home in Fibre Cities, one of which is for the service providers, and I'll come on to that model in a second. Second is for the provision of local services, telehealth, etc., from public sector organisations that want to get access to their community. We've gone for a model whereby we're delivering 100 meg over GPON into each house that accepts the connection. And what we're giving with an open access portal, we've got that one pair of fibres over which the service providers can compete to provide to the customer. So we've created that level of competition that gives the end user best pricing and best value. 10 meg is fairly standard, but they can boost up to 100 meg, and it's guaranteed 100 meg synchronous on the Fibre Cities. Another point, as well as Bournemouth, we're rolling out in Dundee, and we're about to announce another 3.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and the point about two fibres, I didn't mean to imply in any sense that a particular person putting connections into any wouldn't put more than one fibre. What I meant was, you aren't going to get two different companies, wanting to build, in the same place, typically, so it wasn't really about the number of fibres, it was really about the number of people who were going to separately dig up the road, or, whatever was involved, is what I meant.
So how does that idea square with BT's announcement for their high-speed rollout to completely mirror Virgin's?
Yes, exactly. How does it?
I always say there's a slight problem. The networks are a natural monopoly, and when we're a competition-driven way of rolling them out, it's contrary to that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but that isn't quite what I meant, right? I mean, I don't count BT's fibre to the curb or Virgin Media's rollout as what I'm talking about. I'm talking about proper fibre to the premises, right? So neither of those count. And I mean, in time, in history, they're just going to be something we've blipped through on the way to something proper in terms of making this work.
You do have to recognise, of course, that the Virgin is ducted to the home, so fibre to the home is easy.
Indeed, yeah. There's opportunities. Ducts are one important opportunity, and as recognised in the Digital Britain review and some of the more recent work done by Ofcom, owning ducts is an important asset in that regard. So I mean, I think that's true. I think there's, I think there are opportunities here. I'm not meaning to be pessimistic about it being difficult. I think there really are opportunities. It's just that if you look at the rate of increase of demand, you sort of look at some reasonable curve, and you think, how long is it going to take us to actually build any reasonable proportion of the country? And you sort of look for an intercept point, of what does that really mean? Then I think, you really have to worry about